Barcelona Espanyol, el derby barceloní from La Liga. Barcelona had a 3-4-3, Valdés in goal, Puyol, Piqué, Vidal, the back line, Busquets in the holding midfield, Xavi, Iniesta, and Cesc kind of in midfield, Alexis, Messi, and Alves the forwards, but this is such a fluid formation. You could have said Messi was in midfield, and so was Alves, and Cesc was up front. You could call it a 3-6-1, 3-5-2. It doesn't really matter. The subs, Pedro came on in 72 minutes, and Keita came on for Cesc, which happens nearly every game, I feel. Keita comes in late. And from the very beginning, we had Espanyol threatening to score with Hernandez making it to Verdu, and it was a fantastic save from Valdés, and it really could have been the first one. Then we had a little bit of a controversy when Messi used his hand, apparently, to stop the ball, and then the goal was disallowed. Here we had Alexis, and a little bit more controversy. He could have gone down, and it could have been a penalty and a red card. It wasn't given. Alexis had a pretty awful game. He missed chances. His shots were awful. And here's the first goal. It's a cross from Dani Alves on the right wing. Cesc with a trademark run into the box and a header. Pretty powerful header. It could have been saved, though. It was a savable effort, but it wasn't saved. So Barcelona were up 1-0. And the difference really the goalkeepers, because Valdés had a great save, actually a couple of saves, then at the other end. And here you had Christian Alvarez missing the ball. He could have saved it. He didn't. And it's becoming a typical trademark finish for Cesc to come in and score on the header. So Barcelona kind of fortunate to be ahead. You could argue they were really fortunate. Actually, this performance was kind of bad. All around it was flat. It lacked urgency. It just was pretty bad. And near the end, Espanyol caught Barcelona at, I can't remember, the 87th minute or something like that, across that, I think they caught Puyol napping a little. It's flicked on, Alvaro with the finish, and it's a 1-1, and Barcelona drops points. Of course, Real Madrid won their game, so they're up 5 points. And here Messi almost pulls it out. He gives it to Gerard Piqué, whose shot comes off the crossbar, or off the post, and Pedro tries to bring it in with the follow-up. It's not by a handball that surely would have been a second yellow card if it had been called, which it wasn't, and it obviously would have been a penalty, and this is in injury time, I think like the 93rd minute, and I think that was going in. I think most of us would call that a handball and a penalty. You could make the argument, I suppose, that it wasn't, but I think the referee just plainly missed it. Pedro came in on 72 minutes, and he was very lively, and he almost got that goal. And on the other side, Espanyol nearly win it in the last gasp. But anyway, Alexis had a truly awful game. He lost the ball, he had poor control, sometimes he didn't shoot at all, he seemed scared to shoot, and then when he actually shot, you saw why. He had a shot go, literally hit the corner flag. It was just awful. I think Pedro was much better, and it took a while for him to come in, which was, I think, on Pep. He could have brought him in earlier. Keita was okay, but his substitution for Cesc was to take off a goal-scoring midfielder and instead put in a midfielder who will, defend more. But immediately after, Espanyol scored the equalizer, and it was, in retrospect, not a good substitution. All in all, yeah, the referees didn't help Barca. It was at least a few calls could have really changed this into a win, but they didn't really deserve it. They played poorly. Messi was kind of not involved most of the time. He was offside a lot. He got dispossessed a lot. Xavi with a lot of uncharacteristic, poor passing, and it was just none of the big guys showed up. Puyol was not really good. The only people from Barcelona who really impressed me at all was Pedro, but he was on for a very little time. And Valdez, who had a few nice saves. The goal wasn't really his fault. All in all, like I said, some questionable refereeing, but Barcelona didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve it. Anyway, tune in for the next game, I suppose.